All right. I'd like to invite everyone to BizSugar Live, How to Promote a Local Small Business. This is the first in a series of webinars presented by BizSugar Mastermind Community. They will be on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at noon Central Time. And today is the first webinar in this series. All right, so I want to give a little introduction. There are many ways to promote a local business, offline and online. Because we want to offer you more than we can cover in this one webinar, we've created a Trello board to share with anyone who wants it. And it covers both online and offline strategies to increase your target audience and your income. And at the end of this webinar, anyone that's interested in seeing it or obtaining a copy is welcome to stay for an introductory tour to this Trello board. And I can actually give you a copy to use for your own business. And for the purposes of this webinar, we will focus primarily on how small businesses can use online methods. And we're fortunate to have the ever-popular expert, Ann Smarty, to present this information. Most people already know her, but Ann is the branding manager at Internet Marketing Ninjas. She's also the founder of Viral Content Bee, a platform where anyone can get influencers to share their content. And with that, take it away, Ann.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Ann Smarty, as Gail already told you. And I've been for a while in this business. I've been SEO since 2008, more than a decade. So I have a lot to share about SEO, but today is promoting a local business, which it has also a lot to do with SEO. So what I'm focusing today is the online methods of promoting your local business, especially the fundamental tactics. The future webinars will dive into each of these tactics and more, so stay tuned and do join all the future webinars. And today, today I'm talking about local marketing mostly, as well as local SEO, local content marketing, and building local links. Local marketing is a huge topic and there is a lot to do here. My focus is SEO, but our Trello board will guide you through many other methods, so make sure to grab a copy. Gail will talk to you on how to do that. I come from Ukraine, so I do have an accent. If you have trouble understanding anything I'm saying, do put your questions in the Q&A. We will email or cover them on this webinar. Now, putting your site on the online maps or building local citations, the more fancier word to put it, is the fundamental step whenever you're taking your business online. So this is what I'm starting with. It is the way to make your business findable whenever anyone is searching you on Google, as well as other local directories. So it is a very important step to take, and I suggest spending some time here, and I will explain what to do in just a few details. Especially after the COVID year, when so many businesses had to go online fully or partially to start providing online products, providing their services online, moving online operations, moving their teams to work remotely. So the consumer behavior changed a lot. Many businesses that used to rely on local traffic started using online maps to find products or services they need. So this is an increasingly important step to put your businesses on as many local maps as possible. Now, I found a very huge list of local directories. Not all of them will apply to your business. For example, if you're not in travel industry, probably TripAdvisor is not your friend, but many of these are generic and very important for findability. So do use this list. I did put a link to it in the Trello board, so find it there and go through all of those directories and do your best to verify your business everywhere. Now, when putting your business on maps, make sure your business name and address is consistent throughout all the listings, and that includes your phone format It is a very common problem. Whenever we analyze a local business findability, we find that in some places they put their street name as Avenue, in some places it's Drive, sometimes there is a zip code, sometimes there isn't zip code. So in many ways the phone number can be also different. So sometimes people put +1, sometimes they miss it. So just make sure that everything is consistent. And this is important because Google does use address to kind of consolidate all those listings around your business and improve your rankings and find where you cited everywhere. So just make sure that you have a unified format for your address, name, and phone number. Now, this step will take you a lot of time, but it is very important as well. Put as much detail as you can, as you are allowed to. Some directories will ask for your product, some will ask for your expertise or areas of expertise. So all of that is important. It is all indexable content for Google to rank you and for all other directories to be able to find you when people put a keyword in their search boxes. Also, if you can, try to diversify your business description. You always do the one thing, but it's always a way to kind of make it a little bit unique from listing to listing. This will ensure that Google will rank more of your local citations for your business name, and this will increase your chances to get found for any generic keyword that relates to your business. So spend some time trying to diversify those business description, what you're doing, which product you're producing, and which services you're providing. This is very important, and that will take a lot of time. But the good news, this is something you will have to do only once. So once you are done with all those directories and maps listings, you are done. You will not have to do that again. So this will take some time, but it's just one-time task. So this is good news. Now, talking about tasks that are ongoing, there are two as well. Make sure you always keep your information up to date. This includes your COVID updates, your working hours, your reopening process, everything that is new should be put on all your local listings. It's not easy. I suggest keeping a spreadsheet of everything, of everywhere you're listed, and make it a habit to come back every month or so to make sure everything is up to date. And while you're there, you can check if there are any new reviews or anything. If you do get some regular reviews on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, do check those more often. So there are a few, like Google Maps or Yelp might be a priority because they are more popular with customers, so they will be putting reviews there and you want to know about them. There are solutions online on how to keep an eye on all those citations within one dashboard. OrbitLocal is one I recommend because it's not too expensive, but if your budget cannot yet allow that, it's also doable manually. Just keep a spreadsheet of everything and you will be fine. Now, this is just one example of one major local maps dashboard that you want to be verified in. This is Google My Business. It powers Google local search results. So whenever people turn to Google through their app or the generic Google search results, if it's something to do with local businesses, this is where you want to rank in. I marked these fields for you to know this is what you want to complete very carefully once. So there's nothing to do there unless there are any changes to your operations, working hours or stuff like that, or address or anything. So info is where you put your business description, address, how you work, if you accept walk-in customers, if your business is accessible, all of that. Complete as much as you can. Photos, even though it doesn't sound too serious, it is important to put at least some pictures in maybe videos. Google My Business is also supporting video content. This is important because customers do look at those, and Google loves customer engagement. Whenever they see that their users interacting with local business, chances are they will show you for more search results and you will rank higher. So this is a nice feature to have, and do put some business pictures and business photos of your location, of your office, of your team maybe. So all of that is very good to have. Finally, products and or services, depending on what you provide. You can choose from available, or you can make up your own and type your services or product names there. It is also add some crawlable data for Google to crawl, so don't neglect these fields. Do provide as much information as you can. Now, these two fields are something that you will have to go back and update. So Google does allow regular posting. It does look a little bit like Twitter or Facebook when you just put your updates and publicize them. This adds some fresh content to your business listing, and Google loves fresh content, so it's a good idea to put at least weekly there. Google allows all kinds of updates here. You can post your coupon or any seasonal discounts, or you can publicize your company's news, your new partnerships, or you can even post a link to your new blog post here. So this is a very handy feature to have, and do utilize it. Finally, reviews. This is self-explanatory. You need to come back and see if there are any new. Google will email you whenever there is a new review, but just in case, if you missed that email, do check this section a few times a month just to make sure all the reviews are addressed. Your potential customers will also see those reviews, and if you're there diligently replying to everything negative or positive, that will also reflect well on your brand, so there will be more customers engaging with you and visiting you and getting in touch. So just keep an eye on these two sections and try to make your business listing fresh and updated as much as you can, as much as your time allows as well. So this is the goal. This is organic search results. Whenever you type pizza in Google, you will see this, we call it a local 3-pack. This is what Google shows top 3 businesses in your area for any search when they suspect that you want something local, to buy local pizza or to find local services. So the goal of all the previous exercise is to rank in this Google local 3-pack, because this is maximum visibility. Once you're there, you will have a lot of calls and a lot of visits. So this is why I'm saying this is so important to keep your listing updated and very, very detailed. So going forward, once you have that task done and you think that all the important local maps have you're findable everywhere in your area at least, we move forward to creating localized content strategy. And I will describe and show some examples why it is important. But the first step here is the most tedious one, especially if you do a lot and provide a lot of services. This is keyword research. I have a detailed guide, again, linked from our Trello board, on how to do local keyword research. That includes all possible ways to put your area in. You can search, you can do keyword research for your own town or for nearby towns or for your county, for your state, depending on what you're doing and how broad your services are and how much people are prepared to travel to get to you. So all those things, as well as all possible keyword extension methods, like how to make it a longer keyword so that it's not as competitive. This is just a quick screenshot from one of my favorite keyword research tools. It is premium, so it is paid, but it is very, very nice to have. So if you have any online budget, I would suggest getting Ahrefs in the first place. So one of my favorite features here is keyword density metric. This is estimated by Ahrefs itself, so it's their unique metric. It does show how tough it is to rank for any of these organic search results. So by glance, you can estimate how difficult it would be for you to rank in organic search results for any specific search query. So if your website is new, I suggest sticking to lower keyword density, maybe 40 or even 20. Those are not as competitive, which means not many websites, web pages with high not many established pages and websites are ranking for it. So it's pretty easy to rank there. So I would suggest that filter to find doable keywords first. Then after a few years or months, you will be able to expand to more popular and competitive keywords. But at the start, I suggest going a little bit lower just to start getting some visibility. Now, and again, there is a more detailed guide, and it's a huge topic. Keyword research, localized or non-localized, is a huge topic to cover within one webinar. So I suggest getting that Trello board and link and go through the whole tutorial that I have there. So now that we know our keywords and we are listed in all the local maps, it's a good time to start working on your content strategy. And now, not many local businesses do really have local marketing, a local content strategy, and it's unfortunate because content can attract customers who never really intended to buy anything. By providing solutions, by answering their questions, by being findable for relevant keywords, you can attract, like, if similar to how local food traffic could attract people who never wanted to stop by your place or buy something at your shop. This is similar to content marketing. They very well targeted content marketing can get you some customers who never really wanted to buy anything. This is the power of it. Now, you can create the two higher level strategies here is first you create content related to your business. For example, a hairstylist in Seattle can publish an article on how to deal with the hair in a rainy climate, right? So, and somehow catch those people attention. Now, and you can also, sorry, click too fast, you can solve problems of the customers in your area. For example, the Albany Bakery can write an article about the best pastries to bring home before a snowstorm. And we get those a lot. So all these relevant problems for your area should be covered on your website. And this is how you attract customers and who never had any intention to buy anything at this point, but they change their mind when they see you and see your content. Now, just to give you a few ideas, you can cover local events and how your business could help people in your area to prepare for them. You can list some ideas for staycation and how your business can make them better. And you can announce new partnerships and bring some awareness to your business through already well-established names in your area or on your niche. So these are good ideas to start with when you develop content editorial calendar for your blog or website. Now, do take note of localized people also ask results. People also ask little boxes. You see them everywhere throughout just about any search query right now. They list relevant questions for the current search query, and I suggest keeping an eye on those that relate to your area or any attraction nearby for that matter. So you want to know what people are wondering and if there is any angle that your business can be helpful there. People also ask results and optimizing for them do help your business to get featured. Getting featured means to appear on top of search results, on top everything below the pay-per-click results. So there's a lot of visibility there for the brand, and a good start to being to optimizing your site for featured snippets is to address questions from people also ask results as well. So just an example on how helpful it is to optimize your local website for local questions. Answering local questions is a great idea in general, so not just for being featured. Especially if there is some way you can position your business the way it's solving the problem hidden in the question. For example, in this search query, exploring how far is Central Park from Times Square, it opens up a lot of opportunities for local businesses. For example, people could be asking this question when they're interested in a place to stay nearby both of these attractions. So here you go, you give them that idea. Or they may be looking for a place to eat while heading from one destination to the other. Again, this is something if this is something your business can help, you should be addressing that question on your site and giving them that idea. Now, a good note here is that when I was searching for this, I wasn't physically in New York City. I was searching from home, from upstate New York. So developing a content strategy means that you can be found by people not in your area. Your clients may not be yet in your area. They may be traveling there, and they will not find you on Google Maps unless they're physically in New York City. But content strategy can give you that competitive advantage of being found from anywhere in the country if you develop a good strategy. So this is one helpful note for you for your motivation as well. Now, to make your content even more effective, do integrate your calls to actions. We call them CTAs in short. They can be as subtle. Those calls to action should encourage your readers, content readers, to deal with your business, to buy something from you or to get in touch. A helpful call to action could be as subtle as mentioning your business as one of possible solutions on how to get there, what to do there, how to spend good time there. Or it could be as promotional and direct as just featuring your special offer. So you can definitely play with both, integrate both of those in your content and see which one is performing better and probably adjust your strategy accordingly. But don't forget, I usually, and it's very often that I see very useful content that gives people no action to do once they are done reading. So this is unfortunate because content does take time to research and create, and then you give no clear funnel for the people to engage with your business after they read it. So keep an eye on those rankings, keep an eye on your organic traffic and any traffic for that matter, and don't forget those calls to action to funnel people through your sales funnel and get them do something on your website to get any business from them. Finally, we go to content promotion. A more recent term here is outbound marketing, because that's where you go outside of your website and try to get some useful signals in terms of links, social media shares to your content. And this is another reason to develop localized content strategy. While a lot of bloggers and journalists or website owners may not be willing to link to your business, but getting links to content is much, much easier. especially when it's good, useful content that really gives solutions to problems or answer popular questions. So this is another, I think it's the third reason here to develop content on your site is to attract backlinks to it. There are many ways, again, like keyword research. It's a very, very broad and ongoing task. You will have to come up with all kinds of ways to get your content out there for it to be seen by people who can share it or link to it. So I'm giving just a few ideas here that are doable and mostly free, but all of them do require some time and some effort as well. So be prepared to kind of dedicate some time on a weekly basis to get, not just to create content, but find some ways to get attention to it. So the first and the easiest way, and everyone, and not just local business, but just about any business should be doing, is tracking Twitter mentions. It could be hashtags, it could be mentions of your competing businesses to see who is promoting them. For local businesses, Twitter has a very handy way to limit those tweets to a particular locale. You can set how broad you want to search from a particular zip code or town name or city name. So, and TweetDeck also has that integrated. So for any column, you can set to only see tweets nearby. So all those people who are in your area tweeting will be found through that search. You can search by local hashtags. If you find a popular one, with TweetDeck, you can set a lot of columns for different ways you search. So I suggest starting there, and then you will be able to see which one is delivering best results and just get rid of the rest. But there is no one single way to monitor Twitter, so you will have to play with all kinds of ways to monitor relevant tweets. So when you find something of interest, you can right away from that TweetDeck dashboard, you can engage with that tweet in any way. You can like, retweet, you can comment if you have a relevant blog post covering or answering a question in that tweet. Go ahead and post it there. Don't go too crazy or self-promotional, obviously, but being helpful never hurts. So this is a good way to get additional attention to your website, to your business, and to your content. One thing that keep in mind here, you do look for people who can give you links. So local reporters or journalists are your friends. You need to keep an eye on them. I suggest creating a separate Twitter list to engage with them on a regular basis. That could be not promotional every time. You can be just helpful. You can suggest some local news coverage for them. You can answer their questions, participate in their polls, and at some point you will know each other well enough so they can help you broadcast whatever important news you have, like a new partnership or a new introduction to a business or a new office. So do spend some time interacting with those bloggers and journalists who cover your area and who can be helpful in terms of broadcasting and publicizing important news, and as well linking to your website. Another way to search Twitter is to use Biosearch. And here is one of my favorite tools to do that. It's called Triangulate. It will search Twitter users by what they have in their Twitter bio. And this is important because most journalists will include that they do reporting and which company they do that for. For example, here I'm searching for New York Times journalists I may want to connect to. Again, once you find people that you feel like may be interested in what you're doing, they tweet a lot or write a lot about your location or area or nearby towns, do add them to that Twitter list to be able to keep a closer eye on them. And if you have important news of your own, you will know where to where to tweet it to, and which journalists and reporters may be interested in it. So it's a handy, ever-growing list of people who will be helpful at some point for you. Finally, and this is self-promotion at this point, Viral Content Bee is the platform I have founded, but it's also the tool that I'm using on a daily basis to promote my own content. So I do what I preach. I use it. I'm its most active user. What it does, it promotes non-promotional content, so you will not be able to broadcast your discounts or your landing pages there. But if you have a piece of useful content or a useful list or useful video or an infographic, our users will be more than happy to tweet, share on Tumblr or Pinterest or LinkedIn, and attract more attention to whatever you're doing on your site. And hopefully that will bring you connections as well as new links. So here, this is the Trello board that Gail and I created for everyone who is promoting their local business online. And here I added a link to my deck if you want to go through with your employees or team members through all the slides. It's Google Slides. I uploaded my presentation there for easy access. And I do have links to developing your local content strategy, to doing keyword research, to answering local questions as well. Here is my own tutorial on that. And for the keyword research, this is the list of all the directories that you want your business to be verified in. And there is one for keyword research as well. Let me find, here it is. So this is the how to do local keyword research for your business, and it's be prepared. That's not a short guide at all. So there are a lot of tips there that you may find useful. And I'm done here. Thank you so much.
All right, so I'm going to send the link to the Trello board to everyone. This is a public board and anyone can see it. So as time goes on, we may add more resources to it. You can access it whenever you like. You can share it with whomever you wish. But you can also have a copy of it. Now, I believe that if you click on Show Menu and More, you will be able to copy the board. And if you can't copy it for any reason, you can contact me and I will copy it and send it to you, or create a copy and give you access to the copy. And then you can take me off of it if you like. And then you can use that board for your own business, put your own information on it. You can do that with all the Trello boards I create, and there are quite a few of them for small businesses that are specific to social media versus local SEO versus PR. And so I encourage everyone to please look at the Trello board that she was showing you. It does have a place for you to save your, remember at the beginning of Ann's presentation, how important it is that your business name always be exactly the same. So if it's business ABC Company, Incorporated versus ABC Company Incorporated without the comma, you need to always have it exactly the same. And your address, like she said, exactly the same. Street, ST, and ST period, and street written out are three different things. And you have to do them exactly the same. Same thing with your phone number. Use the same phone number. The reason that's important is you want Google to find all of them and rank you higher. If it sees that as multiple different companies, then none of them will rank higher, and you'll get less traffic from Google, which is the gorilla in the room, has all the business. And so that's really important. So on the Trello board is a place to save that. And so you save your information there. It's also a place to save your logos and your photos and your images. And then when you have content writers, they'll have access to always using the right information. And if you have a board for keyword research, which I can also give you a copy of, you take your keyword research and you provide that to your writers on the content you develop, one piece of content for each keyword phrase that you researched. As you can see, it gets complicated, and there's a lot you can do, both online and offline. I want to touch on something online or offline. I saw a guy pick up a couple businesses that were failing. They were just totally failing. He got them cheap. And all he did was go in and clean it really well and paint it a bright color and put in better lighting. So this was like the failing business was a dingy, poorly lit, kind of dirty place with no signs, and it just kept failing. He just went in, cleaned it, painted it, put up bright lights, put in great signage inside and out, and he put like one of those sandwich boards out by the curb. And when I met the guy, that was a booming business. And it was like way off the road, way back, like there was this giant parking lot and the building was set way back. He put a strobe light in the front window to get people's attention, and then he had a sandwich board out near the sidewalk that pointed at the business and had his name on it. It became the biggest newspaper place. It sold magazines and things like that. The biggest place around. I've seen more than one time convenience stores failing. The new owner cleans it and paints it, basically, and now it's a booming business. And so there's lots of things a local business could be doing right now with COVID. And really important, you could have signage in your windows or out by the street if it's legal where you are. You can check on all the legalities of that in cities. But signage that says we have drive-through, we have touch-free delivery, we have whatever you have. Think outside the box. If you've always been, you have to come in and eat kind of restaurant, you may have to pivot to you can pick it up at the curb restaurant, or you work with an app that lets them order for delivery restaurant. Every business needs to think, what if it's shut down again? What if it stays shut down? What if? Lots of what ifs. Now is the time, move your business online, even if you're there, optimize it. Like Ann said, most small businesses don't have a blog. They don't have an online presence that's very good. They have a website that looks like 1994 that has never been updated and has wrong information on it. Take this more seriously. I mean, seriously, actually get business cards. I know people don't know this, but people still use business cards. Have business cards. Hand them out to your friends. Send them to your website. Have your own domain. If you don't have the budget for even a website, ask a friend with a website to let you put your information on their site and use your business card and a domain to point at the information on someone else's site if you have no money to do anything. There's lots you can do that small businesses aren't doing. I wish I had the stat in front of me, and neither of us can probably remember it, but it's something like 70-something% more traffic if you have a blog than if you don't. And I'm going to ask Ann this one. So if you have a blog, you attract links, and you go out and actively request links. Those links point at your website, which causes your local listing to rank better, right? Even local listings need incoming links to your website.
Yes, you have, when you add your local information on Google, you do have a way to verify your website. Like you would have it with Google Analytics or Google Search Console. So you have a little code to put on your website that tells Google this is the official website of this business. And then everything that happens to that website also can reflect on that Google listing as well. So it does help a lot. And in many cases, when you search for a service, like if you search, for example, I don't know, accident lawyer in New York, you will see those 3 local results in Google search, in organic search, and you will see their website mentions accident lawyer. So even if their listing doesn't mention it, Google will rank that listing because the verified website has it. So it's very important to have that consolidated and have both. But yes, whatever you are doing to the verified website reflects positively on your Google listing as well.
Right. So yeah, I think a lot of small businesses were busy running their business, and so they haven't done the online very well or at all. I know lots of businesses don't even have an email address.
Yeah, I think COVID has changed a lot of that. Many businesses were forced to figure out how to do things online. And also, even if there is no other lockdown, shopping behaviors changed so much. Like I've never ordered online so much before, but now I don't see myself stopping, you know, and that would be a lot of other customers as well. Like consumers have just discovered how convenient it is to do things online, and they will never stop now, even without lockdown. So it is still important now, like never before. It is important to be online because this is where new consumers are post-pandemic. It's not yet done, but still. Consumers are different now. They will be doing things online. If you're not there, you're missing out on that huge opportunity.
Yes, and there's a lot, but you have resources. All right, I want to encourage people, look at the Trello board, save that link, join the BizSugar Mastermind community where I'm the community manager, and then you have free advice anytime you want it. You can ask questions. I'll be able to help you with things. Some things you can do yourself. Some things I may be able to recommend someone that you could hire to do it for you if it's too complicated or you don't have the time. We have the ability to help you, and we want to help local small businesses as well as small businesses of all kinds. And one way we can help you is with the resources, the BizSugar Mastermind, and the BizSugar, just go to BizSugar.com and you can sign up for the mastermind if you're not already in it. And you can go to the BizSugar blog. And in the post that talks about this event, there's a tentative schedule for the upcoming webinars. As I mentioned, on the second and fourth Wednesdays at noon Central, we will have webinars. And the next one is local SEO for local businesses, which is similar but more in-depth to what Ann covered today. After that, we have Google My Business, claiming, optimization, engagement. Google My Business is so important. It is the one thing that if you add everything else you can do together, it might not add up to what Google My Business can do for you. So that's the number one most important thing. We'll have a webinar specifically about that with the brilliant Mike Blumenthal, who is like Mr. Google My Business. Then we have SEO basics for online small businesses. And so people that mostly operate online more than local. Then we have content marketing for small businesses with Shawn Hessinger, who is the senior editor for Small Business Trends, the largest small business publication online. They are the parent company to BizSugar. And then we have H.A.R.O tips. H.A.R.O is how you can get the press to cover your small business. And so I've got a guy that's checked out on that, and he will be here. Then social media marketing, and then turning your expertise into a product to promote via email. That's for all of our freelancers out there. We have a lot of people that are small business owners, but we also have people that provide services to small businesses. They're agencies, they're freelancers, they're consultants. And we do have a BizSugar advisors directory where you can find the talent that you need. And if you email me, I can recommend people and discuss it with you. It doesn't cost, none of this costs any money. All of it is perfectly free to help our small businesses. You can email me at community@bizsugar.com. And in the BizSugar Trello board, there's a link to her presentation. And at the end of the presentation is all of Ann's contact information, how you can get in touch with her. And you can also see she has a lot of presentations online. She speaks at all the big SEO conferences. And we'd love to see you there. And Viral Content Bee, I use it every day. You probably saw tweets if you're on Twitter about this event. Those came out through Viral Content Buzz, the old name Viral Content B. And basically, even if you don't even have a Twitter account, you have no followers whatsoever, you can put your content into Viral Content B and have people like me with over 100,000 followers on Twitter share it for you. And so I encourage everyone to check that out. Check out everything we've done. I'd love to hear from you. Email me with your questions. And I'd love to have you attend our future webinars. Any final thoughts, Anne?
I think you've covered everything. I just want to point out that it is overwhelming, but nothing is impossible. Just get started, and then you will one by one you will be solving everything. And like I said in my presentation, the very first step is to get your business on maps. You can just do that and wait and do your business then and do your work then. That already will be huge. So don't get discouraged and get help, as Gail said. Luckily, we do have resources and a helpful community where you can communicate with other small businesses or small business owners, see all the useful tools and resources that are being provided. So that's really awesome that we have all of that.
Right. Yeah, it's just prioritization. That's why we mentioned Maps and Google My Business, which is the same basically thing. That's the number one thing that every small business has to do first. That's the number one thing.
Exactly.
And then after that, you just do one thing at a time. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason for the Trello board. It helps you prioritize. You can drag the cards around and choose what to do next. Eventually, after you get your Google My Business up, everything else is, as long as you're doing something, just pick something and do it, then that will benefit you. You don't have to worry, should I do this or should I do that so much. It's just doing one thing and then doing another thing. And over time, you build up your results.
Exactly.
So with that, I guess we will close out this webinar. We would love to hear from all of you. Feel free to email me, as I said, at community@bizsugar.com, and I will answer you right away.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Anne.
Congratulations on your first webinar, Gail.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.